Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How do we factorize this question? All right. So you ought to understand that by the time you're in grade 10, there are 4 methods of factorization. All right. There are 4 methods of factorization. So when you just look at this question, going by what you learned, you need to identify which method of factorization will apply here. That is very important. Okay. So you know the method of factorization. We've got common factor method, a difference of two squares, quadratic expressions, and the grouping terms. So here we're going to use grouping terms. All right. So how do we factorize this? So we need to look at, when you look at throughout, there's no number that, they don't have a common factor except 1. So when that is the case, you have to group them. You group them like these two, and you also group the other two, these ones. That's what we mean. So you look at these two here. What is common here? What is common? The first two, you are going to notice that 2a is common. So if 2a is common, what are we going to remain with here? Here we'll remain with 2b plus 3c. Okay? Now, you ought to understand that when it comes to grouping methods, or this method that we're using here, the factor that we have in the brackets here is the same thing that we should have when we factorize the other side. So in other words, when we factorize the other side, we need to have 2b plus 3c. Okay? That is what we must have. So to achieve that, what are we supposed to have? You look at what is common here. We have minus 6bd minus 9cd. So what is common is going to be minus 3d. Minus 3d. Minus 3d. Then when you factorize minus 3d, what are you going to remain with? Here you remain with 3b. And because we have factorized a minus, all right? So in order not to change the question, what we're going to have in the brackets changes to a positive. So that when we distribute this, it should take us back to the negative that we have in the original question. And then having done this, now the final answer is going to be this 2, which is now 2a. And then we bring this one here, which is going to be minus 3d. Then we get this other common factor here, which is 2b plus 3c. This is what is going to be our answer. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you want lessons, all right, if you want lessons, you can get in touch with us. Okay, you can get in touch with us. This is 0978 56 58 and 76. All right, you can get in touch with us. We'll be able to give a service once we have agreed. Thank you so much for watching our videos.